Okay, so guys, I am I'm here with Susie Lewis, aka Cryptogirl, and I think I just caught her off guard right at the beginning there. But today we're going to talk about something exciting that she's got coming up, and the clue is on the t-shirt. But before we get into all that good stuff, how is it going, Susie? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. A lot of training tutorials and doing a lot of fulfillment stuff.
Yeah, I know you're busy behind the scenes writing VSLs and shooting training videos and all that good stuff. But I thought I'd ask you, Susie, before we jump into this, because obviously I know you as Cryptogirl, and some people might have seen you out there, but I also know that you're married to Mr. Jamie Lewis. But one thing I don't really know about, and I'm thinking maybe in a nutshell in 1 or 2 minutes, like you seem to have just, first there was Jamie and then you just kind of appeared, and I was like, who is this woman? Where did she come from? She's doing these big crypto launches. I see her killing it in that space. And I was like, I don't really know much about you. So can you give us a little bit about your background and fill us in on where you came from?
Yeah, sure. Well, on business-wise, for the last 10 years, I worked for the wealthiest people in the world. I'd say definitely the top 1%ers. I worked in the event services and had an event planning business. And I remember once doing an event for some of my favorite clients, and the husband gets up on a pedestal and this big political thing, and he says, "My net worth is 1.2 billion." And I was like, what? I had no clue. They were like my favorite people to like do events for. So I realized then like I needed to figure out what they were doing that got them where they were. Same age, within a year or two difference, and the economic levels were extremely different. So I started really, I was in Greenwich, Connecticut. So it's one of the most expensive places to live. And what is so significant about it is it really attracts a lot of the financial, leaders in from New York City. So they work in the city, but they live in Connecticut and raise their family. So that's why I kind of, I think you saw me right away, because Jamie and I met, and he was like, "You're doing crypto?" I was like, "Let me film you." And I was like, "No," because I thought it was like not legal, and I thought it wasn't safe. And I was like, it was my little hole, and I was doing it myself. But then he was like, "Oh, no. I do this thing called internet marketing." I'm like, well, I don't really know if that's safe. So he kind of took me out of that little rabbit hole of privacy I was hiding in. And then since then, as you know, I had no idea Jamie was who he is. I didn't know that he had that many talents and abilities. So he used to be so mad when I would go to work events, and he's like, "Why are you doing that stuff?" I was like, "Because I like it." He's like, "You can do this stuff at home." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. That stuff doesn't work." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." I'm like, "Dude, I can go to work and make $500 a day. There's no way you're going to I'm going to make that with this internet thing."
Yeah, so
I was so wrong.
Yeah, so you basically found a way, like you and Jamie, of kind of bringing what you were doing in the crypto space and mixing it with the online world and product launching and teaching other people how to do this same thing. And I was actually going through one of your products the other day. I think it's like some kind of like signals or indicators, and I was just taking my first look around the back office, and I was thinking, wow, because I've dabbled with crypto. I've got some money in crypto, and I think it's like a space that people are interested in, but they either don't fully understand it, or they feel a little bit afraid of something new that they don't really get. And I'm wondering, like, what you do with crypto, is it something like simple that anybody can do? Because when I was going through one of your members areas the other day, I was honestly looking at it and thinking, man, I kind of wish I'd like come across this a while ago, because when I was getting into crypto, I was having to figure out all these, like, just things like how to put money on a place where you can buy crypto and change it so you turn it into this coin and that coin, and the whole thing for me was kind of a little bit overwhelming, even though I could see that there was a lot of money to be made. And what I found from going through your members area, you basically made it very, very, very simple. So can you talk to us a little bit about like the potential with crypto and the ways in which you found to simplify it?
All right, so I'm going to try to go as simple as I can because I get very excited about this space. It's extremely important that we comprehend that we are in a digital age, that technology is taking over. So when we have like fiat money, paper money, it's one thing, but now credit cards, a lot of us, you know, I don't think I was born into credit cards. I think they were created as I was, you know, growing up. But the new generation, that's all they know. They don't even carry cash anymore. So, you know, you have like the Bitcoin. This is digital currency. And this is so much more than just an investment. This is like an actual change for humanity. Here's like another cryptocurrency. So what is happening right now there's a few billion people that don't even have access to banking or any kind of financial transferring system. Coinbase is one of the companies that they changed fiat money, which is paper money, into digital currency. It went into Uganda, and in 1 week, 40,000 people signed up because they didn't have access to a brick and mortar bank. So this is one way to unite all of humanity and to really help the countries and the people that they don't have the wealth that a lot of these other nations have to build brick and mortar. And it is a very Wild West space right now, but regulation is coming in. And I think it's very important to know that like Forex, before regulation came in, there was a lot of money to be made. Once regulation comes in, they're going to inhibit what we can invest in, because like the stock market, to invest in an IPO, which is called initial public offering, it's equivalent to a crypto ICO, initial coin offering, essentially the same thing. Well, do you know to invest in an IPO, you have to make 200, there's a reason why you don't know anything about the space, because they don't want you to know. Because you have to do an IPO in the stock market, you have to invest 250. You have to be making $250,000 a year for 3 years consecutively, and have $1 million in the bank that doesn't consist of the net worth of your house. So very few people can afford that, and that's why. Basically, Susie, that type of setup is really just for people who are already rich and elites. That's the only people who are going to benefit from that, right? So. Right. I'm guessing, because one of the things, I know I'm interrupting you, but I'm guessing you're going to swing around to basically saying that with crypto, the entry point is very low. Almost anybody can invest some money in there, right, and get right now. Going. I got started with a very, very small amount, which actually turned into a lot of money really quickly. I bought 84 Litecoin when Litecoin was like down at 30-40 bucks. I got in just before. You remember when Litecoin had that big jump and it almost like 2 times in value, and I basically made nearly 2 or 3 times my money within a 13-day period of time. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, I got in on something for peanuts, and I was like, it kind of blew my mind. And then
I won't go into all the other things I bought, but it was like, yeah, I was looking at things and thinking, man, like for the average person, when you realize that there's ways to make money, still, like even if you went down the route of something like real estate, for the average person, if you want to make your money work for you, real estate isn't affordable. Most people are priced out of most opportunities, and I'm guessing like that's where you would get into, right? Like crypto lets just like regular people get in at like for pennies, basically.
That's a great example. Yeah, and let me tell you, working with the richest people in the world, they're no different than you and I. And in fact, we're probably better than them. Okay? You don't have to be perfect to be wealthy. And just like that, you know, they are taking advantage of the stuff that the Litecoin deals on a daily basis. And they don't work for a living. Their money makes money for them. So yeah, whatever you're doing right now, you've got to take that money and let the money multiply. And ultimately, the road to retirement is your money makes money. They typically have like a family office where they have a money manager. And for every $1 million for a normal millionaire these days, they can spend $20,000 a year. So that way they're gaining against inflation. So think about that. They have to have $1 million to spend $20,000 to keep their principal in there, because their business is to have a big chunk of money, and then that money makes them money. Now, with the multipliers in crypto, you could probably have like $1,000. Like Superman talks about, he started with, I think, $2,000, and he turned it into this huge like asset class. So it's just the potential multipliers. Now, this is why it is so essential for that everybody, especially the people in the lower income levels right now, listen to this, because this is extremely an important time, and this won't be here again. Soon it'll be gone. The market cap right now is like, it's like this big, say it's $200 billion. Last year, the all-time high, January 7th, the market cap went up to almost $900 billion. So at that time, in institutional money, there is, when I say institutional money, it means that when you put your money in a 401k or when there's retirement funds, they have to put, if people are on pensions, pension plans by law have to be invested in something. There's this huge silo, which is like, what I'm just pretending visually that there's like this corn holder, but it's like money holder of $18 trillion of institutional money, of pension funds, of 401ks that are just sitting there in this, let's just say it's like this apple. It's like this huge apple of money, or it's probably not even a better idea. We'll say it's this, right? And then it's literally, the gates are being opened for that money to flow into the crypto land. It can come in. And the reason why is there are regulations on stocks, on the stock jockeys, okay? This is really important. I worked for a bank. Of course, you know, if I worked with the people, you know, I eventually they hired me into one of the companies, and unfortunately non-disclosure, so you know I've got to be very secretive about this. So the point is when I worked for that bank, if I wanted to buy any stock, I had to knock on the attorney's door and say, hey, XYZ, I'm going to buy this today. So, and you're limited because they have 4 times a year, they have to deliver quarterly earnings. And the law states in the United States is that you cannot, if you work for one of these companies, you cannot buy or sell any stocks within the time of the quarterly earnings to be released. So you'll see, like October 13th, one of my girlfriends, she's huge in Forex. She goes, I don't know why, but every October 13th, this system just goes flat. I just don't know. And then I'm reading, you know, I'm researching every day. And so Tika Tavari, Palm Beach Research, puts out this thing, hey, heads up, it's quarterly earnings time. You know, no one's doing any trading here or here. So like, I'm able to connect the dots, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is why. And then this is why, so October 13th, so September, so November, December, January, February. So that, you know, February is another earnings release. So you'll always have like a flatness February and then take 4 months from there. So there's certain things, they're called conditional situations, where technical traders that are taking money and trying to multiply it right away and get instant returns, okay? There's two different types of trading. They need to know about these annual conditional situations so that when you are trading, like when you have that Litecoin, you'll know, okay, this is an ocean. There's waves that come up and go down. It's like a firecracker. What goes up comes down. It's those graphs that you're looking at, those charts are just energy. The energy doesn't leave, it stays. And right now, this is why this is so important, is we're like a jack in the box. It stayed like this, 6,000. There's a floor, okay? And a floor means that it goes, the bouncy ball goes doink, doink, doink. It keeps hitting that same place. And this is called like a trend line when you're reading those charts. Doink, doink, doink. But it's also getting what's called condensed. So the ceiling of that bouncy ball is closing in. That's called recoiling. So the energy is going ding, 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 ding. So it's either going to go up or down.
So it's a case of right now, Susie, because obviously last year a lot of cryptos did explode and then they came back down, and it's kind of like the saying of what goes up must come down. We're kind of now in that period of what goes down must come back up, right? That's kind of what you're saying here. Yeah. So in a nutshell then, just for the guys who are listening in on this, how I would kind of put in a little kind of a summary of what Susie's saying is crypto is a space where ordinary people, just not people who have millions or even thousands or even hundreds. I've got in on some of these cryptos for literally a few dollars. People who have a few dollars can get into this space and they have potential for making lots and lots of money in this space. Now, obviously, Susie, you've got something called Crypto Renegade coming out, and I think, is that launching on the 26th of November? Is it 26th of November?
So good. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what I'm wondering is, inside of Crypto Renegade, let's say I'm a person, I'm watching this now, I'm interested, I'm like, this sounds great. It's something I can get into that I can make money with online, where I'm not exchanging time for money, but I'm making money work for me. And I've heard this enough times to know there must be something in crypto, but I need somebody who knows more than me to simplify it. If I buy Crypto Renegade, what is it and how are you simplifying everything for me so I can actually succeed and make some money in the crypto space?
Awesome. So what I've decided to be is the welcome wagon to crypto land. It's a vast space and there's risk. So when I started, I had a friend in California that I could only talk to like once a week sometimes, and he was just slowly like drip feeding me information, and I had nobody to talk to until I met Jamie, and he had never even made his first trade. I triggered him. So I created this system, like how to make your first trade. And mostly it's important that I want to teach you the real raw deal, how to get money in, make it, and get it out. So that you have just the basic skill set so that you can do anything you choose to do, but you just need the guidance and the know-how and where to go, like the safe exchanges. There's over, right now, as we do this, 15,800 exchanges, but I've been watching it, and just within the last year, it went from 8,000 exchanges to now it's almost 16,000. There's only 2,080 coins. So the amount of crypto coins and tokens are not growing to the amount of exchanges, which I call them coin stores, or aka like the new banks in a way, right? This is how you transfer or buy coins. So they're not all safe. I've had some students, one has like $120,000 stuck in one. I'm not going to say what kind it is because you never know, whatever, but I want good juju. So another girl did an arbitrage thing and she was like stuck in it. So I've created a Telegram group where it's just like, all right, go here and post your experiences if it's good or bad, so that we all have like a warning signal. So we know if there's this obscure coin, sometimes when a coin first comes onto the market and you know it's an amazing team, technology, you kind of want to do a technical, a fundamental hold. Fundamental trading means that you're holding on long term, and you'll keep it through all those waves of up and down and for like a year or 2 years. And then technical trading are those people that want instant gratification. They love fast food. They've got cleats to buy today for soccer. They've got, money that needs to be paid today. That is worthwhile technical trading, where people see the waves, they jump on, they ride it, and they jump off before it goes down. Or right when it starts, they have indicators they can tell, and they're like, all right, sell. And then they made their money. I can't believe it. Like Ripple, like around October 18th, and they had this big surge upward. This guy says on Facebook, I was posting little like, hey, time to buy, time to sell. He goes, oh my God. He put $4,000 on Ripple. It went up. He made $2,000. He jumped off. He's like, I can't believe it. It kept on going higher. But the guy was a really good, safe trader. He jumped off before it went too high. And then a second guy, like a week or two later, this OX is called OX. It just came on Coinbase. Coinbase has very few coins, so maybe it's like the 6th coin. And it was at like 86 cents. And he could tell, because he knew a little bit of chart reading, that it was about to go up. So he bought it at 86 cents. He sold it at $1.26. It continued to go up to $1.30, but he jumped off too. And that same guy, a different person, but they had both put like, it's weird stories, 4,000 in. He had made 2,000. He jumped off. So that's like not every day, right? Like technical traders, and technical means you get in and you get out and you're not holding. And these two different kind of tradings, these people don't get along. Fundamental traders are like the 401k. They're like, yeah, long, like hodl gang, as Chris says, right? And then the technical traders are like, dude, get out of here. You're insane. I got this. I'm a surfer. They're like that, they're the adrenaline junkies. They're like, yeah, oh my God, I just made 2,000 and found it. And it's okay.
I think, Susie, you're kind of a little bit of both, right? I know you got some things you hold for the long term, but I'm nowhere near as knowledgeable about this space as you are, which is why I'm doing this interview with you and putting my audience in front of you. And by the way, as a side note, guys, I've like secretly stalked Susie's videos and a crypto page on Facebook, and I've seen some of the calls she's given, and she's being very, very accurate. And for anybody watching this, because I know that crypto there's a lot of things that even go over my head still, but for anybody who's watching this, basically with Crypto Renegade, Susie's basically got all this knowledge about crypto. She's got all this experience and all these connections, and she's put all of that together in basically a step-by-step system where she's going to say, this particular coin or crypto looks like a smart move. This is how you get into it. This is when you get into it. And this is when you get out to make your money. That's basically what you've done, right, Susie? Made it simplified in that way. So,
in a way, what happened is through my crypto land adventures, I found this amazing tool, and I was like, this is so sexy and sweet and simple. We call the Renegade Booster, and it basically, in crypto, there's like only a few exchanges that I would even go to. So one of them is Binance. And what this crypto booster does, it's like a little bot. It's like your BFF in crypto land. And there's this thing called API keys. So when you open like an account with Binance, I have 2 accounts now because I wanted this little tool. So one of the accounts, I've connected the API keys. There's just codes, basically. There's an API key and there's an API secret code. And once you open your software, it's online, you just put those codes in these 2 spaces and click go. And then what happens is that particular software system, we call it the bot, it actually will trade for you. So let's just say I had
whoa. This is even more than I realized, and I legit didn't even realize.
No, it's amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So
This is a whole different level here. So it's not like I'm physically going in and doing this now. Once I plug in the code to I've got a bot that's gonna do the trades for me and basically make the money for me.
Yeah. So what we did is this. Jamie's unbelievable. He got the bot builder to make a version for just like what I think like $37. I was like, how did you convince Philip to do that? That's insane. Like, so he's got like 2 different versions of this, but you're able to get like the baby version, which is amazing. So what it is I don't know if you can see this, but it's just a graph with all these little colors. It's showing you I have 25 market cap, 25 of the top market cap coins. So one of the things that drives me bananas is having to go on the exchange and buy, sell, and then you have to convert in Satoshis and understand what's happening mathematically. And so what you do is you connect those API keys, and then I have my bot set. Here, I'll show you the settings. So the versions that we're buying are a little different, that we're selling are a little different than this, because this is like the original. But we've had to design something that's less. Basically, there's like a little bar here, and that says 25 coins. I could move it over. You can't really see it that well on this. I can move it over, and it'll reduce the amount of coins that I'm invested in. But what happens is, and then I click this thing, update portfolio now. And when I do that, like it bought, let me see how I can do this. Oh yeah, maybe I'll close my window. It automatically buys 25 of the top market cap coins. How do I make this thing work? Okay, a little bit. All right, so then like all of these coins I'm positioned in. So here's the thing. When you're doing your daily grind, right? And you don't have time to like watch the market, figure out, well, what's position 25? I literally have a team, a crypto team, right? Of coins. And one thing that's cool is like this last one, Ox, it just hopped up. Ontology was in this position. It dropped down and Ox popped in. So what the system does is if one of your coins drops off of, you can make it top 10, top 13, but if one of those coins loses its position, it gets sold off automatically and it buys the one that goes in that position. Now, Bitcoin Cash just went up 40%. So wow. Within this realm, of course, I own Bitcoin Cash. It's in here. And what happens is I have mine set to rebalance daily. So what it did that day is it sold off the profit. And my system is currently set, like you have control over all of this. My system is set to allocate the funds equally into each one of those coins. So if I have $1,000, 25 coins, like each coin has like maybe $25 or $50 in it, right? So then when Bitcoin Cash went up, it sold off those profits and redispersed it and bought more out of every other coin. And so it's increasing the quantity of coins that I have in the other realms. And that's the key. It's like sell high, buy low. So as that profit goes up, it's selling that profit off and buying everything else that's low. Isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah, that is cool. It's a very, very simple way of doing all the things in crypto that are manually the biggest pain in the ass.
Yes, right.
And basically, I would say when I talk to people, it's the things that are the barrier to most people getting involved with it. So basically, nutshell, I've totally got where you are now, Susie. You've got a bot. This bot is basically, once you put your API keys in, and for those people who don't understand, an API key is just a very simple line of code you paste into a box. That's all an API key is. once you've done the initial setup, this bot is basically programmed to know, okay, buy this, sell this, give me the profits, basically. That's what you've got here. It's like, I needed this about 12 months ago. I needed this about 12 months ago because, as I say, there's a lot of things with crypto for me that are so tedious. And like you said, one of the biggest things I found is, and I'm glad you touched on this, is I was very wary of all these different exchanges that were popping up, and I was hearing some horror stories, and just to have somebody who knows like the good exchanges to go to and all that stuff is awesome. So if we were going to summarize this whole thing then, Susie, who should and shouldn't buy this? Like, has this got potential to like make me a full-time income, a couple of $100 a month? Am I looking at it the wrong way? What type of person on my list who wants to make some money should buy this, and what could they expect, to see over the next month, 3 months, 6 months, year, if they follow what you're sharing inside?
I think psychologically, it's the person that understands that, the fiat money could be reduced in value anytime. Ray Dalio, he owns Bridgewater, which manages over $160 billion. He went on Bloomberg on September 12th and said that the USD, the very end of this scenario, he was talking about Turkey losing 40% of the value of its money, that the USD is forecasted to lose 30% of the value of the dollar by February 2020. He said 18 months, but that's how I calculated it out. So I don't think someone that understands that we are not in control of the value of fiat money. I was doing a research and at a restaurant, local restaurant, 1970, their menu said a steak was $4.25. Today it's $35. And in February 2020, a steak will be $45.
Massive inflation. So
right. And
so what you're saying there is basically, for anybody who understands that, if you basically work 40 hours a week right now, and at the end of paying your bills, you've got enough money left to buy a steak that's $30 now. In 2 years from now, that same $30 won't be able to buy that steak because you're still getting paid the same money, but the price of things you buy is going up, and your bosses either saying, bosses are actually firing people and giving people pay cuts, or they're saying, hey, if you want to make more money, you've got to give me more of your time, more of your life. It's for people who basically don't want what they're earning to depreciate, and they want to protect themselves from that kind of stuff, right?
Well, it's only for really smart people that can comprehend that inflation has happened. The USD has lost 85%. Since the technical boom, like the tech bubble was $3 trillion, but since that like the internet bubble, they printed 3 times the amount of money. So they have to be smart, okay, and smart enough to know that they don't want to deal with the numbers, that they need an assistant to manage it for them, okay, but smart enough to also understand that, okay, go back to the tech bubble. It was $3 trillion. They printed 3 times the amount of money. So when the digital asset class, that's what they're calling this now, because it's becoming a real deal, and the stock jockeys are about to jump in on December 12th. That this bubble, if it duplicates the internet bubble that happened in the 90s, it will be worth $9 trillion because of the 3 times the amount of money. Okay, so money is not the same value as the past. So it's only for the people that can comprehend that the Federal Reserve that prints the money is not always doing what's best for humanity, and that they're willing to be self-sufficient and step up and open their mind to realize this is the time. Do you want to sit back? I don't know any company that's planning on giving a 30% raise to all their employees. So it's a point in time where it's for the person that realizes, by golly gosh, I gotta start learning a little bit about economy, because you know what, I don't even want to get into it, but it's very disturbing to know well, no, it's not disturbing. It's survival of the fittest. This is animalistic at this point, okay? The people that make the most money understand contracts and finances and economy. And so you can get eaten up by that tiger, or you can become the tiger, because you've got to understand. They will take advantage of you. It's triggered me so much. The more I researched, the more I didn't want this to be true, the more I dig deep into the history of economy and economics, and how these fiscal transactions have happened, and how the people over that own the oil companies, they were paid off to increase the value of crude oil. Then they gave loans out to the people that were building the oil rigs, but they didn't understand international law. And the contract stated, this is getting too deep, I'm sorry. The contract stated that the people that took the loan out to dig the oil out had to put their money in the New York City banks for 30 years. And I think I figured out why whatever happened is because they didn't understand that there's called fractional banking. For every $1,000 you put in a bank, that bank can loan out $22,000. I have students, it's insane. I had like $10,000 in savings, okay? I started paying out, maybe I'll pay people this out of that, or Zelly. I could pick, I'll pay somebody in Zelly, like, our program or this or that. I got a notice in the mail for the first time saying, you can't take money out of savings. I'm like, what? I literally got a notice saying that you can only take out 6 times. You can only take money out of your savings 6 times a month, government law. I was like, and then I read about fractional banking. I was like, oh,
craziness.
I had a student. He wanted to take $8,000 out to buy a car, and he had his money in a credit union. They go, no, you can't just take it out. You have to come in and sit down and fill out some paperwork. Well, because of course, that $8,000 allowed that company to do 8,000 times 22. So they were loaning out $160,000 for that $8,000 sitting in savings account. Fractional banking, it's legal.
Crazy. Guys, I want to wrap this up, because I could talk about this kind of stuff all day. I really could. I find it very interesting. But I want to wrap it up with my thoughts, right? And I just want to simplify it, because Susie is like, she's super, super passionate about this stuff, and she's so knowledgeable. I didn't realize, Susie, I kind of did, but I didn't realize until this call, like, how much you know about this topic. And it's like, my mind's like, whoa. But this is how I'll simplify it for you guys. The old system, guys, of doing things is broken. It's kind of just an illusion. It's completely broke. And you really have a choice. And we're really, I believe, moving to a time where almost like, I don't want to get too deep here, but almost like middle-class people are disappearing. You're either going to get a lot poorer or a lot richer. And that really depends on whether you recognize the changes that are actually happening in society. And crypto is a huge change that's happening in society. And it's not a case of it may happen. This thing is already happening now as we speak. And you have an opportunity to begin to get in on crypto in a simplified way and increase your wealth, because really those are the only 2 choices in front of you after watching this video. You're either going to go away over the next couple of years and increase your wealth, or you're going to keep working for this paper money that's depreciating, is buying. If you put away 30 grand 2 years ago, that's not worth 30 grand today, guys. It's worth because of inflation. So Susie's got a simple way. She's got a bot that allows you to get in on crypto and removes all the kind of crazy stuff she had to learn when crypto was new, and stuff I had to learn that really goes over my head because I'm not fantastic with numbers. And I'm really excited about this, and I think you guys should be excited about this too. So even if you don't understand crypto fully, even if you're like, I didn't understand what Susie said about this or what Ben said here, I just want you to understand that all this comes down to is, do you want to increase your wealth or decrease your wealth? And do you actually want to be part of something that's actually improving humanity, giving people in countries like Africa ways to actually buy money, because those people out there can't get banks and all those kind of things? Or do you want to be part of the old broken system? If you want to be part of the new way of doing things and you want to make money and you want to make smart moves, click the button you see below this video, and on the next page, probably going to see some crazy video by Susie on the next page. The videos are always entertaining.
I'm making a pizza. It's very sweet. It's like a pizza party. It's yummy too.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching the video myself, but you'll get more information on the next page, guys. And as I say, I spoke to a few people about crypto over the last years, because the way I make money, guys, just so you know, is I don't have to understand everything about everything I do to make money. When I see an opportunity and I don't understand it, all I do is I find an expert who does understand it, who can tell me what to do. And that's what's happening here. Use Susie's bot and make some money. And I would honestly say Susie is probably, she's in the top 3 people in terms of knowledgeable crypto people I would trust, because a lot of people out there are talking crap, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know she knew this much, and I didn't even realize that this was a bot. I thought this was something that we would have to be manually doing.
Maybe I'll be more believable like that.
See?
I know what crypto is. Nerd girl. Wait, superstar.
There you go. Now I recognize you. You're Cryptogirl, right?
I'll look intelligent.
She's super knowledgeable on this, guys. Also, you know, you may find on this page you're on now, you may find a few bonuses from me. You may not, because to be honest, with a product like this and with like this bot, I don't really want to distract you from like the main product here too much, because I just think this is awesome, and I don't really need to throw in bonuses to like make this any better. But I may put a few there, I may not. But guys, give this a whirl. One thing I would ask you as well, Susie, is because you know you do have some people who are like, I want to give this a try, but I don't know. Do people get any kind of guarantee with this? Like if they use this and it's like, I hate this thing, do they get any kind of guarantee with this?
Yeah, guys, this is being launched on ClickBank and JVZoo, so you have the 60-day money-back guarantee.
So there you go. It's completely
free, guys. Way out of the all-time high zone.
Yeah, if you get in, guys, and you hate it, you know, then you've got the money-back guarantee. So you really have nothing to lose and everything to gain. But I don't really want to say too much more, Susie, unless you've got anything you want to. You know, any passing words you want to give to people?
I think it's really important that this is because when I went through this rabbit hole, I was so alone that I just dedicated myself to doing 2 webinars. Wednesday, you should be getting access to the Wednesday webinar. It's more like product preview and how to every Wednesday, 8 to 9. And then Thursday is more like the mastermind, the people that want to do technical trading and take it to another level. That would be a paid webinar. But the other one, I just felt like, you know what, they have to be linked into some kind of like, almost like a hotline, right? But it's I can't teach everybody one-on-one. Even my best friend, I mean, I love her to death. She's like, I need to know what to buy in crypto. I was like, you know what? I love you so much. I just don't have time. I'm like, just I have another crypto product. I'm like, log into this and see you on the webinar. I mean, because there's just so much and there's so many people, so I've just had to take it to like a group level. And then if you really need me, then there's a dialsusie.com thing, but you find all of that under the link, you know, wherever he's posting it. Click but I think that you need to know that that if you need help, just jump on that like included Wednesday webinar. And then once you feel like you're like, all right, I kind of understand this and I'm interested a little bit more, then you can always step up and get that technical trading stuff. And we have some exciting guests. I mean, I have a bot builder that we're merging forces, and we have this guy, that Derek Fry. He's been a contributor to Wall Street Journal and featured in Forbes magazine. Phenomenal. And he's doing some of the videos for technical trading, and he's been doing this. Both of those guys have been trading for 30 years in stock, right, and futures. And this is really important too. December 12th, backed. It's this exchange that's owned by the ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, which owns the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange. It's opening their own cryptocurrency exchange that links with Microsoft, Starbucks, and Pansera Financial. Pansera, who knows about? But the Microsoft, it makes sense, and Starbucks. The reason why it's so important to understand that Starbucks is in this is usage is what makes these coins soar high. So what's going to happen is if Starbucks starts taking cryptocurrency, what do you think is going to happen to your investments? It's going to go sky high. So in that term, there's fundamental holding, hodler, hodl gang. And then there's also those people like, oh, heck yeah. There's a percentage of their portfolio. Technical traders always say 30% of their money is going to go into fundamental, which is hodl gang. And then 70%, they're just riding those waves, like step and repeat. And it's like ride the wave, jump off. And then you put your money in what's called tether. And the crypto bot has an option called tether on the pro version, where let's say what happens is you ride those waves and you're like, oh, I'm at profit. What do I do now? So now you can press a button on the pro version and it'll sell all your positions and put it in tether. Tether is one of those cryptocurrencies that's backed by the dollar, and it's always a dollar. It's called USDT as in time. But
yeah, I've noticed that it never really moves away from that dollar.
Never supposed to.
Yeah.
It was created by the owners of Bitfinex. And so since then, the USDC coin was created. But one of my favorite YouTubers did a video. He said, guys, the USDC coin within the programming, they can blacklist you from it. So this is where the nerd glasses need to go on, and you got to keep your eyes and ears open, because there's never been a coin to this point that had the ability to blacklist you. So now Coinbase created the USDC, or one of those big dogs. I think Coinbase did. And I was like, interesting. And Poloniex is pushing it yesterday. We'll give you free trading, no fees if you use the USDC coin to perch your profits. Of course, because there's some kind of tracker crap in there. So it's just beware of free. You know what I mean? So basically, I'm like Inspector Gadget.
This is where it pays to be involved with somebody who's like not just interested in this, but like Susie is obsessed. Like she's like,
I'm addicted. I'm a crypto addict.
Yes, but when it comes to trusting somebody who can help you make money, I want to trust somebody who is living, breathing, and in the trenches, and that's what Susie is doing. So guys, click that button below, check out the rest of the info, and just take it for a test drive. But please, like I always say, like if you're just gonna get in and you're just gonna leave it on the shelf gathering dust, and you're just like, it's just something else to collect. Don't waste your own time, and don't waste Susie's time. But if you get in and you are serious about giving this your best shot, and in 30 days, whatever, you're like, okay, it's just not for me, which I don't see why it wouldn't be. But if it is, there's no risk to you anyway. You've got a guarantee. So we're not going to say anymore, but I am going to stop this call, and I've got a million things I want to ask Susie with this off now, because I did not realize how much this woman knows about crypto. So that's it, guys. Susie, we appreciate you coming on and giving us a heads up on the spot that's coming out. And I think this is very exciting now. I understand what it is, and I'm really happy that we got on this call.
Thank you.